Welcome to What's in the Box. Thanks for tuning in. Today we'll be reviewing Neca's The Thing MacReady figure. Of course, I'm a Carpenter fan, and The Thing is my most favoritist Carpenter film, actually. Um, John was amazing in what he did back in the day. Just the amount of tension he could build, the kind of characters that were in his films. Um, my secondary favorite of his would be Big Trouble in Little China. But he had a lot of great movies in the 80s. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I hope we get quite a few more from the line. The box is pretty cool. It's got this kind of silvery chrome look to it. I don't know what you would call that exactly. And then, of course, it has the original poster art by Drew Struzan. I've actually met Drew. Really super nice, super polite guy. And I've actually got a couple things signed by him. In particular, a Back to the Future poster. But yeah, let's look inside this box and see what we got figure-wise. Alright, so Mac's all laid out here. As you can tell, he comes with a pretty solid amount of accessories. Of course, he would have to. He's just a normal human figure. But NECA really kind of went out of its way in creating a variety of things from various scenes in the movie. Of course, the outfit itself is from two particular scenes in the film. One would be the flight to the Norwegian station, and also sort of the end version of Mac, where he's destroying the camp. You get three heads total, two hooded heads and one non-hooded. You have just a basic standard head sculpt, but you also have sort of a exhausted looking face and an angry face. Both pretty decent. The colors are good on these. This face has a little bit of a darker color here on the nose, but I'm not really sure what that's from. Might have been brown nosing. I doubt it. Mac didn't brown nose. But the sculpt is pretty solid. I would say the nose is actually where the problem is for the sculpt. Um, it throws it off a little. Now it could be paint. I do know the sculptor who did this particular likeness, Trevor Grove. I've spoke with him in the past. Great guy. And he does really good portraits for NECA, and quite a few of them actually. So it could be a little bit paint application. It is a small scale figure, so it can go here and there with paints, but it's fairly solid looking. It's decent. Now he does have several hands, of course, gun holding hands, and then he has what looks like a gun holding hand and a open hand, gloved hand, so not too bad there. And then he has another gloved hand like this, not a big problem. These are, of course, used to hold various items, including his little tiny shot glass. Well, it's not really a shot glass in the movie, is it? It's just a whiskey glass. There is also the whiskey bottle. Now, my complaint here are these stickers. It's just, they're always curling up. Always. I would rather they not put stickers on bottles like this. Maybe a screen print, something, I don't know. Obviously it can't be hand painted, or you could put a sticker and then sort of clear coat, and that would stay down. It'd be actually better as a decal. You get a lantern, which he uses in a few scenes. Of course, trusty shotgun. This is particularly used in the kennel scene. And of course his helicopter goggles, which are pretty neat. And of course, his wonderful, is it a sombrero? I guess it's a sombrero. And that fits nicely over any of these hooded heads, which of course you can do his flight look once you have the hat on, and then throw the goggles on, and that's from that particular scene. Oop, dropped in there. Sorry, Mac. At least the thing didn't get you. Then, of course, onto the figure itself. It's very accurate to his film costume. I've actually researched this costume a little bit in trying to determine what I wanted to do with a 6-scale figure. And it's very, very accurate. Of course, you have his brown jacket. It's a very deep dark brown with light brown highlights dry brushed on. And then of course you have his blue hoodie peeking out from underneath that. Now if you could see even further underneath that, he also has a gray shirt on, but not for this particular figure. The pants are nice and accurate. He had flight pants on. They were actually like an overall that went on over this whole outfit, and there's several zippers here. Of course, again accurate. Then the boots and gloves, all pretty standard paint jobs for NECA. Just a lot of highlighting, dry brushing, and stuff like that. Accessories are fairly well painted. This bottle's done really well aside from the sticker. The lantern, it's got little chrome bits, clear bits. It's pretty amazing what they can do with these. Even the shot glass has, well, again, I said that wasn't a shot glass, didn't I? But the glass has some whiskey in it. Now, if you remember, Mac sort of took all his old whiskey bottles, filled them up with gasoline. Trust me, he had plenty, and started torching the entire facility. That's kind of what Mac did as a character. I mean, you see early on when he's up against the chess master PC or whatever, the computer's winning and he just throws everything out the window and pours his whiskey into the computer. So that's exactly what Mac does at the end of the film when he's cornered by this thing. Of course, there are plenty of fan theories about who was the thing, who wasn't the thing. One of the more interesting ones is towards the end of the film. They're actually talking about, people have talked about the whiskey bottle. And that at the end of the film, Mac didn't have any whiskey left. He wouldn't have gone out into the cold with some whiskey and about 20 other bottles of gasoline and be like, oh, which one is which? So they think and they theorize that Mac actually handed Childs a bottle of gasoline at the very end of the film, and he was able to tell that Mac wasn't human when or not Mac, sorry, Childs wasn't human when he took a drink of the gasoline and it didn't affect him. I like that theory. I like that theory a lot more than a handful of others, like the eye light and the breath and all that stuff. But I'd like to think that's exactly what Mac would do in that situation. So anyway, great figure, solid figure, decent entry for NECA, and of course I love the fact that we're getting Thing figures. I would like to see a bunch of creature figures, in particular the Norris head, even the Norris body scene, of course the kennel dogs, and what else was it? The final form of the Thing. But hopefully we'll get that. I'd like to get the whole team. We're not going to get that, obviously, but I would like to see a Child's at the very least. So anyway, this has been NECA's The Thing Mac figure. Stick with me, subscribe, and hit the bell.